and as you say that, it makes me think, we have these issues about the religious jihadists in the Middle East, but when we were doing the Crusades, we were doing the exact same thing. We were trying to force our religious viewpoint on a group of people. Violently.
Of course, I wouldn't put myself in the category of we, but they, yes, they.
Well, but
I'm not part of that. I've never been part of that, but I know what you mean. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean that's true. But now we do have to deal with the same kind of nutterism that is that is going to try to restrict us in our thoughts and minds and deeds when we're not overtly breaking the law. And so one of the things I focus on to keep all that religious fanaticism at bay is that we have to take certain the United States Constitution I call my sacred scripture. We take that that is something that is inviolable. I mean, yes, it's a little bit outdated. It's some hundreds of years old, but the fact is that the rights that it guarantees us are sacred to me, and I will fight back with every ounce of my being to preserve those rights under that Constitution, under that sacred scripture, which, by the way, I talk about in another book called The Gospel According to Acharya S.
Well, and we have, just to let you know, we have about 3 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
So, I mean, you mentioned all these different books. So because we've been really, the one I've been putting out there is The Christ Conspiracy, the greatest story ever sold. Christ Conspiracy, the greatest story ever sold. What other, can you just kind of give us a rundown briefly about the other books that you have, where people can get them, blah, blah, blah?
Yeah. You can get all my books at either truthbeknown.com or stellarhousepublishing.com. The Christ Conspiracy, I followed that up with Sons of God, Krishna, Buddha, and Christ Unveiled, and that was addressing some of the criticisms of Christ Conspiracy. That led to a pretty sizable book. Then I wrote Who is Jesus? Fingerprints of the Christ. I had people asking me, could you just address the issue of, like I said before, the Jesus never existed issue, which deals with just the New Testament, mostly just the canonical Gospels. And then I wrote, I've written lots of articles and, of course, ebooks and so forth, but then I ended up, after this whole zeitgeist brouhaha, I ended up writing this massive book called Christ in Egypt, the Horus-Jesus Connection, which delved in very intensely. It's quite scholarly, and it's a hard read for some people, but it's got all the evidence in there. It's really quite solid and very well documented. And then this Gospel According to Acharya used to be online, and that's got some philosophizing in it. I think I present some interesting ideas to kind of more of a spiritual perspective than just tearing down religion or spirituality or mythology. And then I also published what's called the astrotheology calendar that has from ancient times celebrations on practically every day of the year, at least almost every